Hello learners, welcome to my channel and today we are going to discuss the human digestive system. In human physiology, when we are going to study about different physiological system of a human digestive is the first one. So in this video, we are going to discuss about a human digestive system and what are the organ system involved in it and how the process of digestion takes place in a human body. So first of all, if we are talking about a digestive system, then there's a term like what is digestion? What is the process of digestion? So basically, what are the foods we are eating that is a complex food material and how our body digestive system is converting the complex food into simple absorbable form is called digestion. Now, see here how we can say about this. Like if we are saying the conversion of simple food material is taking place. Fine. So, let's see. If we say we are having carbohydrates. Okay. These carbohydrates are going to be broken down into simpler molecules. What? Glucose. Then if we say the proteins, then it's going to be converted into simpler substance called amino acids. If we are taking fat, then small fat globules are going to be formed in your digestive system. Now, the term as it is written here, they are saying what? The process of conversion of a complex food material into simple absorbable form. So when we see this carbohydrate that is converted into glucose, then they are going to be absorbed into your digestive system. Okay, so basically food is what? The basic requirement of all living organism, and it contains the major nutrients including the carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins and mineral. And what is the ultimate goal of having a food? That they are going to provide you energy and the organic materials that are required for the growth and development of your body also and repairing of your tissues. Okay, so this is the digestive system diagram. Here we can see, and it includes the alimentary canal and glands. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about the different organs that are involved in your digestive system. If we start this diagram to observe what you can see, the oral cavity, mouth, parotid gland, pharynx is there, then the submaxillary and the sublingual gland. As we know, the first process of digestion start in your mouth when the food enters in your mouth. How they are going to have been chewed by your teeth that is present. So basically, the first initial process is taking place into your mouth. Then it will be transferred to the stomach with the help of esophagus, which is also called as what? The food pipe. Then there are different organs are involved like liver, which is also known as the largest gland. Then there's a gallbladder, pancreas, then small intestine, large intestine. And in the end, there's a anus is also present and rectums are there. Fine. Now we will see if we are talking about alimentary canal, then they have an anterior opening that is known as mouth and a posterior opening that is anus. So you are taking food from the mouth and just removing the excreta from your anus. Now this diagram, if you see, it is having what? Mouth leads to the oral cavity or buccal cavity. The oral cavity is consisting of number of teeth and a muscular tongue that is helping in chewing of food and also producing what? A masticulated food. Then these teeth are just embedded in a socket of jawbone and that term is known as what? Thecodont. Okay. Now, if we know about the tooth structure in a human, so what are the two types of teeth that we have in our lifetime? The first one is a set of temporary or milk teeth and the second one is what? The deciduous teeth. Okay. Here you can see this. Then this type of dentition is called what? Diphyodont. Okay. This is diphyodont. Why diphyodont? Because we have two set of teeth in our lifetime, that is set of a temporary milk or deciduous teeth and that is replaced by a set of permanent or adult teeth. Now everyone see here, if we talk about an adult human, then we have a 32 permanent teeth. That is divided into four different types, which include the incisor, canines, premolar, and molar. And it is said to have what heterodont dentition. Why? Because four different types of teeth are present. If you see this diagram, the first is what? Incisor, then the canine, then the premolar and molar. And the diagram, this is showing how the socket of jaws are there in which the tooth are embedded. Then if we go with the dental formula, that is here for arrangement of teeth, you can see how we will write this dental formula. It's what? 2, 1, 2, 3 upon 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this way you can write this dental formula regarding the incisor, canine, premolar and molar. The hard chewing surface of the teeth is made up of enamel. So enamel is what? The hardest coating on your teeth and help in the masticulation of food. Like masticulation, more chewable form of the food material, you can say. The tongue is also present in the oral cavity, that is freely movable muscular organ, and they are attached to the floor of the oral cavity, that is known as frenulum. So if you see this term frenulum, this is also important. You can learn about it. The upper surface of the tongue has a small projections called papillae. Now, what does the role of this papillae here? They bear the taste buds. Okay, basically the projections on the upper surface of tongue is going to have the taste bud. The oral cavity leads into a short pharynx that is a common passage for food and air. Now, this is the common passage of food and air. So, what we have to see, the oesophagus and trachea open into the pharynx because the food pipe and windpipe has a common opening, here the pharynx. Now, there is a concern that if there is a common opening there, then what will happen? Food can also enter into the windpipe. So there's a cartilaginous flap is present that is known as epiglottis. This prevents the entry of food into the windpipe during swallowing. So basically, epiglottis is a cartilaginous flap that is going to prevent the food material into the windpipe, as it will cause damage to your windpipe also. So this is about how the passage of food is going to be transported into the stomach. Now stomach is what? It's a bag-like structure, and if you see the initial portion, it is connected with oesophagus. Then the initial one is fundus, cardiac portion, pyloric, and what happened when the stomach going to end, it will connect it with the initial portion of your small intestine, that is duodenum. So this is the structure of stomach, that is also important. So oesophagus is what? A long thin tube-like structure that extends posteriorly and passing through the neck, thorax and diaphragm and leads to a J-shaped bag-like structure, which is your stomach. Now, is a muscular sphincter that is called as gastroesophageal sphincter regulate the opening of oesophagus into the stomach. So, how the food is going to enter into the stomach with the help of this muscular sphincter. They are going to regulate the opening and closing. The stomach is located in the upper left portion of the abdominal cavity. So, the location of stomach is also important. Now, we can discuss what? The three different regions of a stomach and what are the functions. So cardiac, fundic and pyloric region. Cardiac is what? The portion in which oesophagus is going to open, prevent food from flowing back. So the cardiac portion is connected with the oesophagus end, and they just do what? Just prevent the food from flowing in back portion. Okay, like they cannot revert back to the oesophagus. Then fundic is what? Upper dome-shaped portion of the stomach store gas, accommodating food and contain gastric glands and juices. So fundic region is the dome-shaped area here, if you see. Fundic region. And there the gases are present. Okay? They store gases and gastric glands and juices. Pyloric is what? The lower right-handed region of a stomach open into the first part of the small intestine. So the pyloric is going to connect it to the initial opening of the small intestine, and they again have the sphincter that regulate the movement of food chyme into the duodenum. So basically chyme is what here? Chyme is the like food material that is being present in the stomach, that the more acidic one we can say in comparison to the small intestine, and the food that is being digested in the stomach is called chyme. They will enter into the small intestine. Now this is small intestine, if you see here, it's duodenum, jejunum and ileum, the three portion of the small intestine. Duodenum is what? U-shaped, opened of the stomach in duodenum is guarded by pyloric sphincter. So, pyloric sphincter is regulating the movement of chyme into the small intestine. Jejunum is what? The long coiled middle portion, and ileum again open to the large intestine. Then we have a large intestine structure which includes the cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum is what? It's a small blind sac that will go what? They have the host kind of characteristic that will have symbiotic microorganisms. So when we talk about this probiotic thing, okay, so how this symbiotic microorganism are going to help in your digestion? So this cecum is holding that area, providing the environment so that the microorganism live there and help in digestion, secreting some enzymes which help in digestion. Colon is what? The cecum open into colon, and colon is again divided into three sections. And rectum is what? Descending part open into the rectum, which opens out through the end. So rectum is the end part, we can say, that is going to open into the anus. Now, the wall of alimentary canal has four layers here. That is serosa, muscularis, submucosal layer and mucosal layer. So basically the alimentary canal has a four different layer of wall, and they are doing what? The serosa is what? The outermost layer and made up of mesothelium with some connective tissues. Then the muscularis is what? The smooth muscles. They have inner circular and outer longitudinal sections. If you see this structure here, yes. Okay, so this can be the structure with four different layers. The outer one is serosa, inner one is what? The muscularis, then the submucosal layer, and inside it is the lumen. So it's serosa, muscularis, inside is submucosal, and then the inner one is mucosal layer. Now the mucosal layer is what? The innermost layer of lining of the lumen of the alimentary canal. Submucosa have the loose connective tissue, and they contain the nerve, blood and lymph vessel, and some glands are also present. The muscularis is again what? The smooth muscles and have an inner circular and outer longitudinal section, and serosa is the outermost layer. Then we talk about villi. It's the small finger-like projection that is present in the small intestine. Then the cell lining villi produce what? Again the microvilli structure, which give a brush border experience or appearances also. Villi are having a network of large capillaries and large lymph vessels called the lacteal. So this term is also important. What is lacteal? So this is what? The large network of capillaries and large lymph vessel in the villi. Then the mucosal epithelium has goblet cells that secrete mucus, which help in lubrication, because lubrication is also important in the different layers. Then mucosa also form the glands in the stomach. Basically, the gastric glands are there, and crypt in between the bases of villi is the intestine, that is called as what? Crypts of Lieberkühn. Okay, so these are the first part that we are studying about different layers on the different layers of alimentary canal and different organs that are involved with the digestive system. So this is the first part. Let's wait for the second part to come, where we are going to discuss about the digestive glands. Thank you so much.